Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. All right, news and prophecy linking what's happening worldwide to the Holy Scriptures. All right, as we get closer to the end of Esau's world, all right, we cling harder to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, through whom, you know, his death, burial, and resurrection. Speaking of Yahweh Shai, we now have a chance at life. You see, through his blood, we have access to the Holy Spirit as a foretaste of the glory to come. So we separate from this current evil world, and we cling unto righteousness, because this world offers nothing but, you know, wickedness. You know, when you look at this government that's in play, you see nothing but confusion. You see nothing but wickedness. You see nothing but lewdness being promoted. All of these wicked scenarios are just thrown at you, all right, day by day, hour by hour, that are just fully, you know, wicked, dehumanizing, you know, nasty, freaky, confusing, lewd, immoral, okay, godless, right? And what's being found out is that this government that's in place is completely wicked. All of them, the left side, the right side, all of them are complete freaks. They're incompetent. They're wicked. They're nasty. They're immoral. They're godless. See? And they're getting ready to wage war on you U.S. citizens. See that? Because a lot of you are being drawn through the left-right paradigm into this point of absolute chaos, civil unrest. All right. And the average everyday Edomite is going to be at the forefront of this revolution against the government. Jake is even going to lose it. People are getting ready to lose it. OK, humanity is in, as the scriptures talks about, groaning. You know, the creation groaneth, man, starting with the elect of the nation of Israel, the Lord's creature, man, his kind. See, but everybody is just like, you know, lie and lie. All of the conspiracy theories have come out to be true. And what we're finding out is that Esau is a very base, wicked man. Let's get this in the book of Daniel 4:17. All right. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he giveth it to whomsoever he will, and he set over it the basest of men. And what we're witnessing is a based man. Okay, a real low, decrepit, wicked individual. And he's throwing so much at you to keep you from understanding the reality of really what's going on, in the form of them setting up, all right, the infrastructure to wage war on you via AI and bring about a digital Tower of Babel, in which each individual who is alive on earth will have to merge themselves with machine in order to live on earth via a micro C-hip, fully giving your soul over to the image of the beast and ultimately being recreated in his image. See that? We have a base, wicked, demonic, childish government rulership in place. Is ruled by base men. And so what's happening is, all right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 1:9. It says, for inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. See that? Inquisition is being made into the counsel of the ungodly. Everything's coming out. And though there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of psyops, there's a lot of confusion out there, one thing that we know when we follow prophecy, which that's where you get comfort at, when you are in the prophecies, because Esau has so much going on, you won't know what the hell is going on. And you'll really believe that there's, you know, a chance that evil is going to be stopped. in this world. Really, people really in America, you know, there's people who really believe that via this government and these people ruling, and even the ones that you think are good, that there is a chance of justice being served and wicked people with ill intent being taken out of power. That's not going to happen. And you see Trump is doing the bidding of the devil. He's doing a perfect job, all right, in luring you Americans in, all right, to the MOTB infrastructure, man. And people are going to lose it. So Inquisition is being made, okay, into the council of the ungodly. Now, Inquisition, okay, when we look it up, it means basically a prolonged investigation, meaning you're being cross-examined. And that's what's happening to the so-called white man. He's being cross-examined. He's being looked at. He's being checked out. Okay. His works, his deeds are now being brought into the forefront, man. And for you Americans to really believe that you're just going to skip off into the sunset and tap back into your scientific racism and, you know, this notion that, you know, you're the superior people and going into these statistics and ignoring your brutal, savage, you know, demonic rulership and acting as if you are the beginning of civilization. There was no civilization before you. You're at the forefront of greatness. It's a goddamn lie, man. Look at your society. Look at your world now. Well, you got a cell phone. Yeah, people have technology, which is not used for a righteous, you know, agenda. And technology can be used in a good sense to actually help people, but it's used to get people addicted. It's used to people to ruin people's mind. It's used to throw all kind of philosophies out. The cell phone, the internet. Okay, it poisons the earth the way you use it. There's a way to have technology without, all right, radiating every goddamn thing. But you don't put any effort, because there's all kind of inventions that come out daily that this devil will take and hide, buy it out, okay, and suppress it. So you haven't ruled right on the earth, man. You Edomites are getting ready to be taken down. This system is wicked, man. It's to the point where people are just hearing about children being trafficked in pedophilia, and it's just like, oh, another day. Oh, okay. Well, don't that always happen? Come on, man. You people have been desensitized, dehumanized by the wicked, and the wicked will be revealed in the latter days. A period of prolonged, intensive questioning or investigation. So, yeah, it's the turn to check out you so-called white people and your works. You're being interrogated. You're being cross-examined. You can't take it. So you really thought Trump was going to come in and give you a sense of we were right. And what you're finding out is he is nothing more than another bonehead of your nation, of your race of people, all right, who is just with the wickedness, just like the rest of them. He's not a godly man, right? He's bringing in transhumanism, technocracies, and they're doing a great job of distracting you from that. But there's a group of Trumpsters who are like, to hell with that, man. See? To hell with that. Even your own kind are investigating you and coming to the conclusion that you're wicked. Your own kind. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. These things that we're getting ready to show you are signs that Esau's at the end. It's over for Esau.
America First hats are on.
So this is a new trend. And none of you Israelites should get caught up in doing this on camera. Okay, because you know a lot of these are agent provocateurs. There's a lot of people who are going to be at the front of some movements because people are getting ready to rebel against this government because they're doing a great job of trying to hide the true agenda, even with this stable coin that comes out, which is in at the end of the day a central bank digital currency, because they're moving towards, all right, a digital system, which goes in line with what John the Revelator saw, because ultimately you're going to have to eventually get a micro C-hip in your hand or in your forehead. Okay? And to deny that is to deny the religion of the day. Okay? So Trump supporters are mad. They're fed up. As a matter of fact, let's finish this. Oh, it went. He burnt it. They burning. They fed up because he's breaking more promises, and as you can see, his approval rating is dropping. This goes into what? Let's get Isaiah the 19th chapter in the 2nd verse. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians. Who are the modern day Egyptians, man? This is the modern day Egypt. If you can receive it, man, that's spiritual Egypt. And America has so many customs that go back to Egypt, because you got to understand the Greeks and the Romans went to the Egyptians to get their gods, their system of worship. So when the scriptures say this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, okay, the Sodomites were Hamites. Ultimately, the Edomites heavily relied on ancient Mesopotamia, okay, Cushites, okay, the Canaanites, okay, the Egyptians, for their system of worship. Okay. There were even a point where Edomites were sitting on the throne as pharaohs. A lot of time you see pharaohs that are white and people are saying this is fake news. This never happened. Well, yes, it did. When the Ptolemaic Empire took over Russia, they had Edomites sitting on the throne of Egypt as pharaohs. Okay. As pharaohs, man. Straight up. So this is the modern day Egypt, man. You see, the spiritual Egypt. So the Egyptians are fighting against the Egyptians, and everyone should fight against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay. This is civil unrest. Okay. Everyone is ultimately getting ready to be at each other's throat. People are getting ready to be at the throat of the government, right? Because people are being demoralized, man.
I also want to bring in Jake Sherman, co-founder of Punchbowl News and an MSNBC political contributor. Jake, in that CBS poll, among respondents who identify as MAGA Republicans, 40% say they're dissatisfied with how the Trump administration has handled matters related to the Epstein case. 60% say they're satisfied. Again, I go back to, that might sound like a strong majority, but that 40% number is a lot. It's a lot among the MAGA base. Is that causing concern on the Hill? What are you hearing? And whenever I ask you what you're hearing, I kind of translate that in my head to what are Republicans on the Hill hearing from their constituents?
So it's a good question. I mean, that probably mirrors what we're hearing here on Capitol Hill, that 40% of people are or that some large percentage, I don't want to put a number to it, are not satisfied. And you see that in several different avenues. Number one, the House Rules Committee, which is a committee that preps legislation for the House floor, got tied up in this big back and forth last week where Democrats were putting up Epstein amendments and Republicans were wanting to vote for them. And the leadership doesn't want them to vote for them because they want to protect the House floor as a safe space for.
Ain't no true list go come on. You'll never find out who does what. In them trying to limit this whole global, worldwide, wicked, demonic, cult, Edomite supremacy. That's, if you really want to know what runs this all, it's Edomite supremacy. Who's at the forefront of it are the Amalekites, the small hats. All right, the you-wish people. See that? Those are the ones at the forefront of it all in positions of power, and they are now ultimately through lobbying and other means of wickedness and deception, they've crept in, and now a small group of billionaire technocrats, the modern day Chaldeans, are getting ready to have already hijacked your government. That's what's happening in the grand scheme of things. And the fact that Elon Musk just popped up as a, coming from a tech guy, a transhumanist guy, a guy who wants to put brain chips, and hops in a position where he's, working hand in hand with the United States government. What do you think is happening? These people are mind effing you people. How is this stuff happening? What's going on here? So Trump's approval rate is dropping. Okay, people are getting ready to lose it. All right, because this is a wicked, decrepit, demonic government. That's the reality of what's happening here. Okay, the scripture said, okay, because now that the Epstein thing is out, and it's there's all kind of pictures and videos coming out with him and Trump, kicking it, and stories how they would just be going on a tear, doing it big, right? So now Trump wants to bring up Obama. Now they're bringing the Clintons back into this thing. Okay, well, if you really want to see some nastiness, look no further than Barack Obama. Look no further than Hillary. All of them are a part of this. All of them do this. See? Trump claims there's irrefutable proof, all of a sudden, showing Obama is guilty of treason and names other Dems in biggest scandal in U.S. history. So now, I'm going to show it. So they're just it's just reservoir dogs, and it's just proof that this is a corrupt, wicked government. Even if, let's just say this is all somehow a big sham, none of this is real. It's still wicked. But there's truth to a lot of this. This is a very wicked place, man. America has not been ran on the principles of God and righteousness and justness. Hell, the message we have is the greatest thing this earth could ever imagine. Okay? But we're hateful. But look at the world you live in. AI taking your jobs. You sitting up here mad that the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Latino, Native American, so-called Dominican, so-called Puerto Rican, you're mad that they're over here taking our jobs, but now AI is taking your jobs. What you got to say about that? And Trump he's for it. America ain't being made great again. America is being made more demonic again. Okay? All kind of access to freakism on the internet. Okay, the food destroys you. Okay, the entertainment destroys you. The music destroys you. But you swear your president's in on the Bible, and you all follow behind some goddamn Donald Trump under the guise of America was going to be made Christian again, but nothing but technocrats and transhumanists and Satanists and Kabbalah worshipers on the side of them. You think you're never going to pay for this stuff you've done? Your brutal, wicked, demonic history? Yeah, we can point at Pookie, Ray, Tyrone, Keisha, but they ruin themselves. Wicked niggas, degenerate moon crickets, all right, who you have black fatigue about. Look, we've been had black fatigue. We've been tired of them. Okay? But they only ruin each other. You ruin the world. You've ruined the world, and you've been at war the whole goddamn time you've been in power up until now. War hasn't stopped. Remember Trump's promise of, we're going to stop war. See, what you people are a victim of. Okay. Now, Proverbs 25:19, confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Putting confidence in an unreliable person in the times of trouble is like chewing with a broken tooth or walking on a lame foot. See that? like a bad tooth and an unsteady foot is confidence in a treacherous person in a time of trouble. And America's in a time of trouble because the Most High have remembered your iniquities. See? Psalms 9 and 12. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble. So 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him who's coming after the working of Satan. All of this stuff we see, all of this stuff we're witnessing is after the working of Satan. These people don't got it. Okay? Look at this shit. Check this out.
Cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and
This is Joe Biden's son.
the only difference between crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat. Literally,
That's it.
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get anyway. I don't.
And see this type of Edomite right here. He can go to a black church and tuck his shirt in and slick his hair back, okay, and say, "I've been clean for 7 months," and wiggle into the church and become a youth leader and touch on all of the kids and smoke crack, all right, in the back in the church bathroom. This is the Edomite. See, you'll look at him, people, and look at him. He looks crazy, but a lot of people look at this guy and they see this is it. This is rightness, because he hid himself behind that term white, which white, okay, in color psychology, it means pure, it means innocent. So he's been able to get away with things based upon that mental mind F alone, calling himself white, which there was no such thing as white people before the 1600s. Okay?
I want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar of cocaine and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
It's vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite.
But see, the nigga is called a monster for this, you know. But when has America fought against rap music being played on the radios? That's just the normal thing here in your society. Here it is, you're tired of niggas, but you benefit from niggerdom. But here it is, the son of your president. All right, at one point, your president for 8 years, your president ultimately a goddamn crackhead, who Joe Biden pardoned him for all of those crimes because he, again, you the president's son, you have access to things. So he's going all around the earth, you know, doing crooked jobs, you know, being a thief, being a freak, just completely all over the place, wanton, and ultimately some type of crime came out about him. Something he did somewhere, I forget, he get dismissed. This dude, these people, these are fugitives.
Listen, I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric.
It's a crackhead.
That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it could bind with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. You know, all of these actors and, you know, people in the past have talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same.
In America, this is normal behavior. This is normal, especially amongst the people who make it into Hollywood and who have access to money. What do? They keep their attitude on self-destruct. The access to all of these drugs. And all of them do this. Okay? All of them do the goddamn crackheads. The scriptures say that your house got to be in order to be a leader. Okay? To the best of your ability. There's a scripture on that your children shouldn't be unruly. Look at this shit.
Same thing.
Not exactly, but close to it. But it's a little bit different. But anyway, my point about it, your point about it, which I think is true, is that there's a thing about crack that is really insidious. And what it is that anytime, I think one of the reasons that they believe that smoking cigarettes is so addictive is because it combines three really important things. It's habit forming, there's an oral fixation, and there is...
This is crazy work, man. But this is the Edomite. The scriptures say the wicked shall be revealed. You should be looking at these people and knowing who the wicked are, man. And it's going left for them. Okay, this whole concept of America, ultimately the elites are done with it, but ultimately the Lord is done with it. So he's putting the spirit on the rulers of this place to take it backwards. And Trump's approval rate is going left, which means prophecy is getting ready to be fulfilled. And because he's being exposed on such a high level, even the small hat is being called out by MAGA. As a matter of fact, let's go to that.
Are coming in to meet with Bibi, and we're trying to say, if you're a Christian, is this what Jesus would do? No, this is not.
See? MAGA protests Netanyahu at White House to stop Gaza killings. Wow. After all this time, you finally have Americans calling out the small hats for those atrocities. See, in America is not a true Christian country. You got a few people who may call themselves hardcore Christians, but how many of them are Christian or so-called Bible believers in action in their daily lives and how they handle things in their mindset and to the legacy that they're trying to build in the earth, to their concept of the kingdom of heaven? Okay, to how they eat. How many of these people are really, truly practicing Bible believers? A very small percentage, man. Okay, you have what is known as a cultural Christian. You just do it because it was something that your parents were into, and this concept of Jesus, and you just went to church and you just, okay, yeah, Jesus, yeah, Jesus Christ. But really, the whole concept of Jesus was always, in America, was always rooted in white superiority. That's the only thing it was used for. Okay, and that's why America has supported Israel. You got to think, the average person that's going up talking about, Israel, ask them about the Bible. The average person that are saying that the Israelis and they have a right to have that land, they don't even believe in the Bible. So why really are you supporting them if you don't believe in the Bible? Jews are a biblical nation. It has a biblical story. So if you don't believe in the Bible, why are you fanatically supporting these people? Because it's all rooted in Edomite supremacy and Satanism. And the average American, at best, is a Satanist without even knowing it a lot of the time. Look at what goes on in the streets of America. Look at the education. It's not teaching anyone the music. It's not teaching you any form of morality. You've been dehumanized. And the only way that can go is left. That can only lead in people losing their minds and just going after one another. But what this all boils down to is that this is a horrible rulership, a very inept, wicked, government, rulership.
This is not right. And we should be able to stand up and say it without fear. In 36 of our countries, you're not even allowed to say these kind of stuff. I could get in trouble, which is ridiculous. We should be able to speak.
So Max Blumenthal tweeted this out. I never seen this before. A self-identified MAGA supporter joined Palestine Solidarity protesters outside the White House while Netanyahu met with evangelical leaders inside. We can't watch people killing babies, women, and children. So you want to hear from them? Here's a little bit of it.
I'm a Trump supporter, and I don't know what's going on, but he needs to stop this. He needs to see. You got to stop looking away. You got to look at what's going on in the Middle East. My message is to all Americans that we can't watch people killing babies, women, children, civilians, and just let it go. We have to get up and speak and say, not in our name, not anyone's name. Plenty of Jewish people have said, not in our name. It isn't anti-Semitic to say you don't want to kill babies. You don't want to kill mothers. You don't want to kill fathers who have nothing to do with any of this political bullshit.
Fair use.
Other Trump supporters, get up, wake up, do some research, take a look at what's going on. Don't just believe the media. It fed us with COVID. It's feeding us now. We've got to take a stand.
Bro, people are waking up. You got, I forgot to believe her name is Marjorie Taylor on the on the news, on the internet, talking about, around mainstream news, talking about the mark of the beast. Like these times are different right now. Everything that happens, people automatically link it to a conspiracy or the powers that be or the 1% or the elite. Okay, people are finding them out. Okay, people are figuring them out, man.
And we've got to stand up for true humanism. This is our humanity. We're losing our humanity. We should be able to speak about killing innocents.
Let's slow down. I don't know, but it actually makes me mad to think about the level of reticence I would have to call.
That's a dragon's blood tree, by the way, behind him. Maybe that's just a screen saver or some type of green screen thing, but yeah, that's a dragon's blood tree. The resin that comes out of it is red. Anyway, let's go to this one.
Diamond Bar mother of 4 and an avid Trump supporter taken into federal custody by immigration authorities. Gay counsel Celia Caballero shares why her husband is standing firm in his political beliefs, even as they test his own family strength.
It was a quiet morning in Diamond Bar until federal immigration officers arrived. The Sahakian family's home security cameras capturing the moment their lives forever changed.
That was it. Came back inside, hugged my kids, kissed me. She's like, Art, this is the best thing that we could do.
RP Man Masihi, a loving wife, an avid Trump supporter, and mother of 4, was taken into custody by ICE on June 30th.
I have 4 kids, 3 dogs. We're just waiting for mom to come home. And 2 birds. Our family's devastated. I can't sleep. We can't do anything. We can't eat.
She's lived in the U.S. since she was only 3 years old, coming into the country legally as a refugee. But an old criminal conviction from more than 15 years ago has resurfaced, leading to a final deportation order.
She was 20 years old. Every 20-year-old makes mistakes.
The Department of Homeland Security issued a statement to us calling Masihi a criminal illegal alien, referencing her 2008 burglary conviction and a final removal order issued in 2009.
And now I'm coming to learn with our attorneys, she didn't do anything. She was just...
So a lot of you people voted for him, and a lot of those promises have not been met. But one thing's for sure, you Americans are losing. Okay? He's waged war on the people. Now, there's a lot of people over here that aren't legal. Okay, according to Esau's so-called law, you got to be legal. Hey, if you get caught, hey, you should have did the right way, right? You know, that's the American answer, right? To do it the right way, come in legally. Okay, but what about the American people? What are you gaining from these? You know, okay, yeah, they get thrown back to their lands. They're no longer here. It's still gonna be billions of motherfuckers everywhere you look, and things are getting worse for you. And Trump, okay, here the Trump supporter has his wife arrested by ICE. So you all, everybody's losing. The only ones that are winning is the elect of the nation of Israel, because this is prophecy. This is prophecy. Okay, people are getting ready to lose it. The American people are getting ready to lose their minds, and a lot of it is going to be aided on by agent provocateurs because they don't have much time. The Edomite don't have that much time left. See? 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell on the earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have done unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then I will show thee these tokens. So this world is vanishing away quick. There's no way that things can go on as is, and there's no way it can continue with everybody, with a micro C hip in him. There's no way. This devil is just, he has to go. He has to go. You see? And Trump's response to all of this backlash against him, to you MAGers, with an ER, MAGger, Okay, we call you Jake's niggers. Well, now they're MAGAs. This is Donald Trump's response. Okay, this is that cruel Lord, man. 8 long years I've had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. All these people want to talk about, with strong prodding by the fake news and success-starved Dems, as always, they always lean back to the left or to the right to keep you in this stupor of illusion of division. Okay? So now he's blaming the Epstein hoax on the Dems. It's just some conspiracy theory they made up. And then it comes out the dude is all he's all in a goddamn party. As a matter of fact, let's read this. It says, with strong prodding by the fake news and success-starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. He called it a hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about our incredible, unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Make America great again. So he don't even want, he told you he don't even want your support no more. Fuck you. Ain't no fouls. Bye, nigga. And let's bring up this video here. See if I can find it. The elder brother ICR sent it to me. Hold up. Even Tucker Carlson is cursing out Trump.
So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen.
So Tucker Carlson gave a great speech at Turning Points USA. And here he tells the truth about what's happening with Epstein in Israel and how it's okay to question. Here we go.
Not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in
And this is everyday knowledge that the people of these different organizations that rule policy and have all this access and, are corrupt. And your own tongue is falling on yourself. Let's get that. Psalm 64. Your own tongue's falling on yourself. Psalm 64 and 8. And, this Epstein thing, it's a distraction, man. The whole thing, in my opinion, is distraction. Okay? Are things being exposed in the process? Yeah, they're all wicked and demonic, but come on, man. Ain't nothing gonna come of that. What's gonna come of it? And if they are, they do find a few people to be guilty of, messing with little, girls, then what? What are you people gonna do? That's gonna stop the why was it able to happen all this time? Who really wants things? And then it sheds light on the small hat and his role in world wickedness. Everywhere you find wickedness in high places, you find a small hat. What's up with that? The banks, the porn, and all of that, all of these industries that are just ruining people. Who's at the forefront of it? Monsanto, Palantir, right? Which for the U.S. military, yeah, Palantir is great. It's a great thing for, waging war and surveillance. But ultimately, how do the American people benefit from all these? They're just doing all this killing, destroying, and boasting, but the average people, the average person is in straits. Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of them, every one of them, and the heart is deep. Their minds are wicked. Everywhere you look, man, it's just, they know how to attack the psyche. You got all of these deaths. Theo has then died. You like, I would have rather seen Eddie Winslow go before Theo, but hey, fuck it. Theo's gone. Okay. Ozzy Osbourne's gone. Okay. You have this lady, I forget her name. She's a chef. As a matter of fact, let me look it up because I just saw it. Okay. All kind of dead. Your Hulk Hogan dead. Okay. Hulk Hogan's dead. Let me see. What's her name? Food Network star Ann Burrell. That's her name. Ann Burrell. Okay. Let's see if we can find her. Ann Burrell's gone. Dead. Tooth gone. Look at that tooth. All the way gone. That might be a man. Shit. That might be Andre. Anyway. So they put all of these deaths. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. All right. Theo. Okay. It's a whole bunch of other people dying. Can these be sacrifices? Who knows? But at the end of the day, when the wicked starts getting caught, one thing you notice is that Israelites start bringing out all kind of false doctrines and doing stupid stuff, and a lot of people die, and it's a lot of questionable happenings in the world, like this dude getting caught with his wife. They just put the TV all on him. He getting caught cheating on his wife, and both of them were married, the woman and the man. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me pull it up for you. Okay, this situation here, and everywhere you look is being thrown in the news. A lot of this stuff is a way to distract your mind from what's happening. Oh man, that's some good water. Oh my. Oh, that was good. But this situation here, man, which I don't see how anybody could find this attractive. But anyway, you got this situation being plastered all over the news. You got all these deaths. You got all of this back and forth about Epstein. It's just a big mess. Obama's being thrown in there. Okay, let's look at some of the headlines. Ozzy Osbourne's dead. Putin releases 1,400-page report proving Obama fabricated Russiagate to cover up the Pizzagate. I mean, just everywhere you look, a conspiracy theory surrounding, JFK. The documentary reveals truth behind killer hospital protocols. This ain't medical information. This guy's going back to court. Geoengineering. Epstein. Young genius turns plastic waste into fuel. Now he's missing. The disquieting of good men. This is a wicked place. President Macron sues Candace Owen over the claims that his wife is a man. Like, what's going on here, man? HHS confirms U.S. hospital making millions by harvesting organs. This happens this type of stuff happens every day in this world. This is madness. Ooh, this is a good one. U.S. State Department accuses EU of Orwellian censorship. We'll get into that one, but let's see here. Mozambique. Okay. Mozambican FM says everything stolen from Africa must be returned. Yeah, right. But everybody's calling these devils out because who raped, robbed, and murdered Africa? Okay, the British, the Esau, all right? But, now you got China with neo-colonization. The Arabs got their hands in there. Obama referred for criminal persecution over Trump-Russia hoax, the great deceiver. Now all of this stuff is coming out about the right. Okay, the left. The left, all right, supposedly brought out all this about the right. Now the right is clapping back with the left. Look, House intel bombshell. Hillary sedated on heavy psychiatric meds, mentally unstable in 2016 run. All these people are crazy. This is the children of Satan. Oh my goodness. Everywhere you look, it's just hell. You look at this title, whatever, man. RFK warns hospitals are illegally harvesting organs. So where's the justice? Stop it from happening. Elite pedo rings worst nightmare. Now, Miss Maxwell. All right, is going to go do an interview and tell all. All of them are wicked, including her. Women are a big part of this process of getting children. In their wicked demonic rulership. So you devils can't tell nobody nothing, man. All Trump has done is for the bidding of the elite. I typed in here, what are some of the promises Trump has broken that has his supporters angry? Donald Trump has maintained a strong and loyal base, but over time, some of his core supporters have expressed frustration or disappointment over broken, unmet promises. Here are some examples. All right. Of promises or expectation that Trump has either walked back, failed to fulfill, or compromised on. He said he was going to drain the swamp, end corruption in Washington, remove political elites and lobbyists. Oh, really? You remove lobbyists? Lobbyists are at the forefront of buying out this damn presidency. And the last one. Trump appointed lobbyists and former Wall Street insiders, right? Critics urge he recycled establishment figures rather than replacing them with outsiders. His 2017 tax plan heavily favored corporations and wealthy, frustrating populist supporters. Again, you maggers, right? You drinking your beer, you walk around with your hat, you got your gun, you sweating, you just ready to kick some ass, but you're losing. You don't own nothing. You still got to work. You don't have a legacy to pass down. Your children are hooked on drugs. Okay? You got a wet spot under your arms. Doing too much. Jesus Christ is played out. He said he was going to build a wall. A full border wall, and Mexico would pay for it. All right? Only about 452 miles of the border was built, and it's really going to be a digital wall. Okay, U.S. taxpayers funded it, and Mexico never did, despite Trump insisting otherwise. Result, while many still support his immigration stance, some were disappointed by the wall's scope and funding source. And a lot of, You know, a lot of people, like, he's boasting in these numbers of people being deported, which people are being deported, but it ain't that high. Okay, they're really doing a lot. They put a lot of it in the front of the camera for, you know, newsworthy. And yeah, they are waging war on people. Don't get it twisted. But if anything, he's keeping your mind occupied from the reality of what he's doing. He said he was going to lock up Hillary Clinton, okay, for her email scandal and the pizza crimes. Remember that? That was another complete fiasco of your government. Nastiness. When the scriptures say he will make Esau bear, he's doing it. But all people can do is follow the Israelites around, the Hebrew Israelites, man. Okay? Or say, okay, we got black fatigue. Well, what about Edomite fatigue? What about you being fatigued of you so-called white people's rulership? Even if you say, well, it's not us. Well, it's your race. It's your people. Okay? This is your doing. Yeah, we can take the blame. Okay, yeah, well, Pookie, Ray, these YNs and niggas, yeah, there's a lot of wicked. We tired of that shit too. We don't like it. Okay, but why can't we look into the rulers of this world? What race are they? Primarily, they're Edomites. And Hillary is tied to all kind of wickedness. See, she's just a hell on heels. Once Trump got elected, he said they're good people. I don't want to hurt them. Backing off the pledge. No investigation or persecution followed. You remember Trump was, you know, exposing all these pedo rings. What happened to that? Oh, it was just in word, but no one's going to jail, right? But that digital system show is being set up before your ass. Many supporters who chanted "lock her up" at rallies felt let down. Endless wars. Trump promised to pull out of wars in the so-called Middle East, but he increased drone strikes. He reduced, although he reduced troop numbers in Iraq and Afghanistan, he didn't fully withdraw before leaving office. Bombed Syria twice. Okay. All right. Yeah. Anti-war conservatives like Rand Paul criticize it. It's just but nothing gets done. Repeal and replace Obamacare. Repeal Affordable Care Act and replace it with something better. Despite GOP control of the House and Senate, and I mean, you can keep reading it, declassifying the JFK files and other government secrets. He delayed the full release, promised further declassification, but never really materialized. Let's see here. Pardon January 16th protesters. In post-presidency in 2024 rallies, he implied he supports January 6th defending and whistleblowers. Okay, this is why a lot of people thought Trump was, you know, he's into the conspiracies and he's going to expose the deep state. Okay? While he talks about pardoning January 6th defendant, which he did pardon some of them, he did not issue any pardons for them during his final days in office. He also did not pardon Julian Assange or Edwin Snowden, despite widespread calls from his base. Yeah, and why are they locked up? Why were they locked up? What's going on with them? For exposing things that were going on, all right, in the U.S. government? It's always tied to wickedness. Appoint loyal officials. Fills his administration with loyal American First patriots. Appointed many establishment Republicans who later turned on him. He often criticized his own hirees and federal servants, raising questions about his judgment. Supporters question why he appointed so many people who oppose his agenda. It's weird, man. Protect free speech and fight big tech. Promise take on big tech censorship and protect conservative voices. Reality. During his presidency, little legislative or executive action was taken to rein in big tech. Trump himself was banned from major platforms by the end of his term. Result, many saw his major failure to protect conservative speech online. And he's not fighting big tech. And this seems to be pulling from older information, but none of these things have been fulfilled to this day. Let's see. Let's see. Was this from? Let's see. Supporters regret mostly minor but real. Declining confidence and enthusiasm. So it's all coming to a amends, and eventually people are going to lose their minds. People are going to fight back. 2nd Esdras 15. 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. There will be no free access to the cities. And this is ultimately what's being set up. Okay? Because while they're throwing all of this confusion at you, right? None of the promises he made are being fulfilled yet. Big tech and all of these transhumanists and elite technocrats are taking over. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's bring this out. Let's go here.
As I said at the introduction to this, the world is easily distracted. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much in the world and in the generation and in the era of social media. Something happens, it goes viral in 24 hours. You're burnt out on it. And this is how this whole Coldplay thing, this concert with this CEO and his affair, this has been all over the place nonstop, and it's drowned out a lot of far more important things that are going on. And so tonight I'm just going to cover a few stories, guys, that I believe are, again, major red light indicators. The sirens are blasting, but most people, again, don't know it, don't see it, don't care. They're oblivious. Their heads buried in the sand. Their heads buried in everything else because they're distracted easily. So, again, when we talk about the beast system, we're talking about the picture of Revelation 13, a system that will involve a buying, selling, and trading system and an image of the beast. Both will require dedication, devotion, and worship to the beast through the system of the beast of buying, selling, and trading, and through bowing down and worshiping the image.
So now these Christians are full-blown, prophets. Now, what is the beast? What is the image? He wouldn't know how to tell you that. And he wouldn't dare admit that the beast is the so-called white man. This particular beast that rules what nation? Because there were nations of people that rule each beast. What nation of people rule this beast? What is the image of the beast? Hey, if you want to know those breakdowns, we got them. All you got to do is type in GMS Revelation 13. I've done videos on Revelation 13. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me show you the names of them. Okay, we have videos going into that. They don't have videos going into it. They just label it the Antichrist. Okay, so with these people, you get particular truths. It's good to see, Edomites complaining. It's good to see the American people, riled up about what's going on in their country. Okay, but in the grand scheme of things, these people don't have the answers. Let's type in Revelation Revelation 13. Yep. So you got Revelation 13 side A. You got Revelation 13 side B. Here's side A. All right. See that title? You type it in. Okay. Or you can go and type in hold up. Part B. Okay. It's other Revelation 13, image. See, there's 26 videos with the word image in it. So you go to the page and do a search. You find what you're looking for. A lot of the stuff y'all be looking for, it's there. You just got to search. We can't do all of the work for you. You gotta search for it. It's there. Although Esau does make it hard to find, we've been doing videos every day for years. You know how many videos that is? Some of them ain't even on the internet anymore. Our apostles, bishops, and elders. It's all kinds of information, man. It's like this word is really flood. It's living waters, man. The beast is image and his mark explained. But you listen to this guy, he's complaining. He's saying what he's saying sounds right, but he don't know what he's talking about.
That will be incorporated into this system, and this will be spearheaded by the false prophet who will
See, it's always the Antichrist, the false prophet. And the thing is this. What they can see is that what's being said in Revelation 13 with the buying and selling is happening right before them. But see, if you really got down to the nitty gritty, okay, about who these people are that are ruling, and most likely who you are, you're not going to want to do that. People don't want to tap into the scriptures from the real perspective of the scriptures. They don't want to look at the nations of the people on earth tied to the nations that were created by the Heavenly Father and their biblical nationality. All they'll say is, how do you know? Well, you got a group of people calling themselves the Jews. How do they know? And if they're the Jews, where are the northern kingdom? And if y'all are Israel, where's Ham? Where's Moab? Where's Japheth? Where's Ishmael? See, the true Israelites would be talking about stuff like that, linking the things that are happening to what the Bible truly says. Not just jumping into this, this fake truther prophet character that y'all try to play. Y'all don't know the scriptures, man. But you are able to see things. And as we were reading in Psalms, the 64th chapter, right? Let's go back. Psalms 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Their mind is deep in wickedness, man. They're very crafty, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So your own tongue will fall on yourself. So we enjoy that process. We enjoy listening to you curse your own nation out. We enjoy you having insight to things and sharing them with the public to expose what's going on. We show people what you're saying because what you're saying fulfills prophecy.
and select individuals in the world to create this image that will both speak and live. All right, so I want to show you some of these articles. I think it's very, very...
I bet you he couldn't tie that beast to Rome. How does that play out today? Does America bring back, is America reviving Rome? Who ruled Rome? Edomites.
Intriguing. All right, look at this headline from Politico. National security elites accept Trump is creating a new world order.
And where did they get this style of video from? Us, but again, like he was saying, that all of these distractions are being thrown your way. But what's really happening is they're bringing in an NWO. Even he can see that. And he's right.
On a podcast we did last week. And it talks about, and this was from Prophecy Newswatch, Canadian police are warning that embracing traditional values could make you an extremist. And again, in that article, they talk about that you could be considered an extremist if you actually believe in traditional values. You believe, for example, you believe there's only two genders. You don't believe the government has the right to indoctrinate your children and you have the right to homeschool them. These things like this, these could flag you as extremists. And this is what basically we're talking about.
Who rules Canada? Edomites. Right? So everywhere you look, it's a heap of confusion going on. Okay? Everywhere. And it's only going to get worse. Especially with this Trojan horse to the MOTB and the Genius Act. Trump threatens to sue Wall Street Journal after a report on his Epstein ties. Okay? Mexico makes biometric identifier mandatory for all citizens. The wearables trap, how the government plans to monitor, score, and control you. This is where it's going, man. I cannot wait until they come out with that MOTB. Although it's going to be a straight situation, although it's not going to be comfortable, but the Lord going to be with us, man. I cannot wait till the reality hits you Israelites that have been playing in the face, because y'all are playing. While we should be going harder in prophecy, Jake is changing the doctrine. Jake is even saying we ain't gonna have eternal life. Deacon Hakai is they're teaching the doctrine that we ain't gonna live forever in the kingdom because it's gonna make the earth overpopulated. These niggas are bringing apartment problems to eternal life. And these are your leaders. Meanwhile, the Edomite is these heathen are moving forth with their world plan, man, with their plan. See? Let's see here. When the states legalize the deliberate ending of certain lives, it will eventually broaden the categories of those who can be put to death with impunity. And what is impunity? Let's see, let's look that up. By law, I believe that's what it means. Because this is where it's going. Impunity definition: exemption from punishment or freedom from the injurious consequences of action. Being free from punishment or negative consequences for doing something wrong. So let's go back here, right? All right, this was Nat Hentoff in 1992. It says, when the states legalize deliberate ending of certain lives, it will eventually broaden the categories of those who can be put to death with impunity. Bodily autonomy, the right to privacy and integrity over our own bodies, is rapidly vanishing. Okay? The debate now extends beyond forced vaxes and invasive searches to include biometric surveillance, wearable tracking, and predicting health, profiling. Under the guise of public health and personal empowerment, this initiative is nothing less than a normalization of 24/7 bodily surveillance. Okay? And Trump ain't stopping this. Okay, RFK, who's with him, is talking about this, but ultimately this is the plan of the people who are in rulership. ICE aims to expand number of migrants tracked with ankle monitors. We're moving closer and closer to that digital system, man. Okay, and it's and at the end of the day, it's nowhere else to go. But the reality of what's happening. And these people are bringing in the MOTB system, point blank, period. Okay, let's watch this video here.
Time exists, but this thing ran. Yep.
This is Apostle Tahar's page. Oh, let me bring this out. Priest Pashai, Assyrians DMV. If the MOTB is in the New York Post, we must be close. Check this out.
Just log on the computer, start the car, make payments, being able to access all kinds of secure websites with better security than any password could offer me. Everybody has a phone, wallet, and keys, and those are the three things you need for life in society. But that is a burden to manage, and I've gotten rid of 1/3 of that burden. So here we are at my favorite pie place. I've ordered a coffee, and I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. Thank you. I'll put that here. Very good. Bing. I mean, you saw how fast it was. Super convenient.
Yeah,
so you can access all kinds of things.
And that's the notion. Two things he mentioned was the security, right? And the other thing was he said convenience. And this is what's being pushed, all right, for the implementation to, be this sense of convenience so that you don't have to worry anymore. All right. However, it's an agenda, just like how it was with the JAG. All right. The JAG came out and it was like, yeah, so you can go back to work and so you can go to the store, you can, basically to buy and sell, so you can operate everyday life. And it was presented as a form of safety. All right. And as we know, the scripture tells you, it says what? When they shall say peace and safety instead of destruction. Okay. So that's the time that we live in, man. And then another thing is that you see one of the main things that identify the MOTB is the concept of buying and selling. All right, you had naysayers in times past from other Hebrew Israelite camps, in particular Wi-Fi, saying, "Oh well, they got the chip, but you can't buy and sell. You can't buy and sell with it. Or I think Nate said that, or whatever the case is." One moment though, 1 second. Nate said, "Oh, you can't buy and sell. Where's my dog?" Remember that? And the clips are out there, they're mocking and scoffing and saying all kind of things that are, contrary to sound doctrine. All right. And that's what it all boils down to, the sound doctrine, the information that's out there. All right. As far as what the Holy Scriptures are saying to warn us in these last days is to not take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right. John the Revelator couldn't say RFID. They didn't know anything about radio frequency identification. All right. And this is plain as day, man, right in your face. What can you say now? What can you do now? All right. What can you say, man? But the only thing is, right now, it's not made mandatory. Eventually, when it's made mandatory, that's when we know that we're at the end.
Right. Here's another one.
Historians.
Okay. GMS Maccabean Spirit. Subscribe. Technocracy MOTB system through biotechnology currency. Check these videos out.
Can nobody actually...
GMS Vegas sit-downs. 144K, Nero, Trump, and the government laying the groundwork for the MOTB system. And there's many brothers doing videos on this topic because the end is, the scriptures say at the end it shall speak. But see, it's really the Lord is laying inquisition on you devils. That's really what this is all centered around. Okay, Sirach 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. This is not a well-ordered government. And the things that you are bringing up on the people are absolutely devious, mischievous, wicked. Okay? And this is not a well-ordered government. This is why the Lord is uprooting it, but he's exposing it first. And the fashion of the world and the people is a result of the rulership. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of a city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So all of the people are bugged out of their minds. The nations are bugged out of their minds, following after Esau and his wine. You devils have done a lot. An unwise king destroyed this people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So you don't have prudence. You destroy your own people, man. And now these crazy ass people are getting ready to lose it. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, and you devils have done absolutely too much. Too much. Okay? So much wickedness that there's instances of the tribes are linking up now. Like, wait a minute, this devil is doing too much. And it's only going to get worse.
Israel bombed a Catholic church this week. The Holy Family School in Gaza, which is a compound run by the Catholic Church, was sheltering hundreds of civilians, many of them children, when Israeli airstrikes hit the site. Photos and reports are confirming there are 3 dead now as a result of this. The Vatican News published this. The Holy Family Church, the only Catholic church in Gaza, was struck by an Israeli shell on Thursday morning, resulting in several injuries, including the parish priest, Father Gabriel Romanelli. Cardinal Pisavalla, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, told Vatican News that 4 people were seriously wounded, of whom 2 are facing life-threatening injuries. I think we now know that 3 are now dead. We must first understand what happened, he wrote, but what must be done to protect our people, seek to ensure that these things do not happen again, and then see what we should do, said Patriarch Pisabella. But certainly we will never leave them on their own.
Now, the Pope has posted this, saying that he's deeply saddened about the loss of life. He did not name Israel the way the Vatican News, the official Vatican News, did name Israel. The Pope did not. He said he was saddened about this. He renews his call for a ceasefire. He's asking for diplomacy. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces originally posted this, saying they are aware of damage caused to this church. The circumstances are under review. They say, I'm very curious about this word. The IDF makes every feasible effort to mitigate harm to civilians, including feasible. They reiterated.
Through.
Is Israel an ally of the United States?
No.
Why is that?
They have been constantly pushing America toward more aggressive policies, toward getting in more fights. And just like I always say, if you went out to the bar every single night with your friend, and every night your friend's trying to convince you to get into a fight, and while you're beating a lot of people up, you're also taking a lot of wounds, and you're going to jail, and you're getting in trouble, you got to stop hanging out with that friend. And so I think that
Charlie Kirk had the turning point, and he brought on Dave Smith to talk about Israel, which sounds like a nightmare to happen in front of a room full of conservatives, right-wing conservatives. But it turns out they agree with Dave Smith. Listen to this. This is kind of crazy. Watch this.
Is Israel an ally of the United States?
No.
You say Israel is not an ally. That is not an opinion that people hear a lot. Why is that?
They have been constantly pushing America toward more aggressive policies, toward getting in more fights. And just like I always say, if you went out to the bar every single night with your friend, and every night your friend's trying to convince you to get into a fight, and while you're beating a lot of people.
So the least of the flock is drawn out America, and Americans see it. They're like, wait a minute, this is too much.
Well, you're also taking a lot of wounds, and you're going to jail, and you're getting in trouble. You got to stop hanging out with that
And this is a small hat.
friend. And so I think that
that's an overwhelming cheer. So that him saying we got to stop being friends with Israel because they're toxic to us, and a room full of right-wing conservatives cheer that. So it sounds to me like people like Tucker Carlson are finally getting through to those people that we should be in charge of our relationship with Israel, and we should dictate to them, and not the other way around. And I think it's certainly the young people, conservatives, agree with that message, that Tucker Carlson's message. They agree with it. They agree with Dave Smith, who's a libertarian. They don't agree. Ironically, with Charlie Kirk's version, they don't agree with the guy from the Daily Wire. What's his name? Ben Shapiro. They don't agree with Ben Shapiro. They don't agree.
Through.